It's vomit-inducing. It's a headbanger. It has an unbearably awful soundtrack. It was profiled by an Alton Primary School Year 1 student. These are just some of the terrible things that people say about the Smiler at Alton Towers. But in this video, it's down to me. Join me as I answer the question, is the Smiler a bad Alton Towers ride? Hello and welcome back to ThrillNet, bringing you everything thrill related in the UK and beyond via the internet. And today I'm bringing you my first impressions of the Smiler, a Gerstlauer Infinity roller coaster at Alton Towers. That's right, in this video I'm going to be riding the Smiler and recording my experiences. Oh, on-ride filming's not allowed at Alton Towers. For God's sake. As much as that is a shame, I can share with you in this video my exact words right after I ride the ride for the first time, live from Alton Towers. I'm finally about to ride the ride with the most track inversions on any roller coaster in the world, with a grand total of 14. Like, why is there so many? It's a very difficult one. I've been known in the past to slate this ride for its awful soundtrack, which I really don't like and think is very unbearable. The fact that it looks very ugly off-ride in my opinion. And the fact that the profiling of it looks absolutely atrocious to the point where it just looks like an unbearably rough experience. The ride just looks like it's made to be a record beater rather than a good coaster. A lot of the inversions look quite repetitive, like you've got about five corkscrews in there. You've got like several dive loops. Where's the 0G roll? Where's the vertical loop? Where's the Immelman? None of that's existent. It's just the same inversions by the looks of it, over and over again. But then on the other hand, you know, it is impressive that the ride does have as many inversions as it does. And I do think, you know, that many inversions, as much as I don't personally think inversions make a better coaster, they could offer a really good experience if the ride is smooth enough. And I'm not ruling out the fact that this ride could be the best ride at Alton Towers, especially when you put those amazing looking airtime hills that it has into the equation. So as much as I often do sit there and look at the ride and think that half of its inversions are a waste of space and that it could do with so many more other types of elements like helixes, rapid transitions and other fancy style elements that coasters such as my #1 coaster Icon has, if the inversions the ride does have are good and they are smooth, then this coaster could actually be really good. However, since the ride lacks so much variety in the elements it has and is seemingly quite repetitive to an extent, I doubt it's going to rank higher than around 5 or 6 in my top 10 coasters of all time. I don't expect it to rank higher than obviously Icon at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, my #1 coaster, the Incredible Hulk coaster at Universal's Islands of Adventure, or Bluefire, Silver Star and even Woden at Europa Park. But I've waffled on for long enough now. Let's cut to my footage live from Alton Towers of what I have to say right after I ride the Smiler.
I've done it and I'm pleasantly surprised, the Smiler here at Alton Towers, and I can confirm that it is the best ride at this park. It is my #2 UK coaster, and it is my #3 coaster overall below Hulk. Obviously #2 below Icon. So I'll go through my top coasters in the UK because it has changed the top 4 or 5 should I say. So #1 we have Icon, then we have the Smiler, #3 Big One, #4 Nemesis, #5 Wicker Man. So yeah, and it's really good. It wasn't rough at all. We were on row 3 and I didn't find it rough. In fact, Nemesis is probably rougher and that's not rough. But yeah, Nemesis is more rattly than that. But the first half was dead smooth. I preferred the second half. It was a bit more jolty, but I did prefer it and it was reasonably smooth. We all enjoyed the Smiler. It's never going to be better than Icon, but it's a very good coaster. The only thing I'd say that puts it below Hulk, even though Hulk has like half as many inversions, it did feel very, very repetitive. A lot of the inversions were similar, and I think it would be a much better ride if the inversions were different. Hulk, on the other hand, had stuff like a 0G roll and like vertical loop, whereas the Smiler's made with corkscrews, dive loops, and you got a cobra and stuff.
One eternity later.
So it's been a couple of weeks since I last spoke to you, but I'm here again at the Alton Towers Resort, and I've just had another amazing ride on the Smiler. It's still absolutely brilliant, and I thought I'd just bring up while I'm here a couple of points that I forgot to mention previously. So my favourite part of the ride is the ejector hill in the second half of the ride, that amazing airtime hill, and it gives them absolutely incredible airtime. I know it's strange, isn't it? My favourite part of the ride isn't one of the inversions, despite having 14 inversions. Speaking of which, I wouldn't care if, you know, half of the inversions were removed. They're probably still rated the same, because some of the inversions are great and some of them aren't as good, and that's sort of the way it is with that ride. I'd still prefer it if it had some other elements like rapid transitions and helixes and stuff, and that's what would make me rate it above 1, which is at my number 2, despite it having half as many versions. I still prefer that with the other elements it has as well, and just the better variety of versions it has, as I said before. But yeah, and I think the Smiler's definitely a ride I have to appreciate for the coaster rather than the theme and soundtrack, because I still hate that soundtrack and I still think it looks really ugly off ride, and I'm not a fan of the theme of it. But you know, I still love the ride for what it is, you know, the coaster, despite it being mainly repetitive inversions. Quite a few of them inversions are really good. It has some really good airtime, and that's why I rate it how it is. But yeah, we're having a brilliant day today. I'm not having a great day at Alton Towers. I'm stuck at home, and all my friends, Josh, Danielle, Ed, Ellis, who you've seen in the vlogs, are going to Alton Towers in 2 days without me on Sunday the 9th of May. Click the icon at the bottom of your screen to subscribe, and click the video in the top right of your screen to find out why I can't go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.